Welcome everyone. Today's video is a warning, a mirror, and a secret. A secret most people never learn in their whole life. We live in a world where everyone is rushing to speak, to post, to explain, to show their life to people who don't care, or worse, people who hope they fail. We share our plans before they happen. We share our pain before it heals. We share our dreams before they're protected. And we wonder why we feel stuck, why people don't support us, why things fall apart before they begin. Today, I will give you the truth. The raw truth. Don't share everything. Not everyone deserves access to your mind, your journey, or your pain. Because when you speak too soon, you invite doubt. You give away your power. You give others the blueprint to destroy what you haven't even built yet. And in this video, you will learn how staying silent will protect your future, strengthen your mind, and make you unstoppable. And while you learn this powerful life lesson, you'll also improve your English. Listening, thinking, and understanding real ideas in real sentences. So before we begin, subscribe to our channel for more motivational English lessons that change your life. And train your brain. Lesson 1. Staying quiet builds focus, discipline, and inner growth. Let's begin with the most important foundation. Focus, discipline, and inner growth. These are not built in noise. They are built in silence. Look at every great thinker, creator, athlete, and leader. There was a time in their life when they went silent. They disappeared. They stopped talking and started building. And that season changed everything. Why? Because when you stop speaking, you stop explaining. And when you stop explaining, you start doing. Think about this. Every time you tell someone your goal, your brain feels like it already happened. That's dangerous, because now your mind relaxes. You lose your hunger. You lose your pressure. You lose your focus. But when you stay quiet, that pressure builds inside you, and that pressure turns into energy, into fire, into discipline. When no one knows your goal, you wake up earlier, you train harder, you focus better. Because it's just you versus you. No applause, no judgment, no noise, just pure work. And that's how growth happens, not in front of the camera, not in a social media post, but behind the scenes, in silence. When you stay quiet, something powerful begins inside you. You begin to focus like a laser. You begin to master your mind. You begin to understand yourself deeper than ever before. Because silence creates space. And in that space, your inner voice becomes louder. You finally hear your own thoughts. You finally meet your real self. You finally discover what you truly want. That's inner growth. And that kind of growth is unshakable. So remember this. If you want real power, if you want real transformation, if you want real results, start by staying quiet, because silence is not weakness. It's preparation. And when your silence turns into results, the world will have no choice but to listen. Lesson 2. Staying quiet makes you mentally strong and emotionally unbreakable. Let's go deeper. If Lesson 1 built your foundation, this lesson builds your strength. Because silence does something very powerful to your mind. It trains you to stop reacting. And the moment you stop reacting to everything, you become dangerously strong. Most people are not weak because life is hard. They are weak because they react to everything. Someone says something. They explode. Someone ignores them. They feel rejected. Someone criticizes them. They break inside. Someone misunderstands them. They start explaining and defending themselves. This constant reaction drains the mind. It creates anxiety. It creates emotional chaos. It creates mental exhaustion. And slowly, without realizing it, people become emotionally fragile. When you stay quiet, you practice something very rare: self-control. You feel anger, but you don't speak. You feel pain, but you don't complain. You feel misunderstood, but you don't explain. And every time you do this, your mind becomes stronger. Just like muscles grow under resistance, your mind grows under controlled silence. Silence teaches your brain, I don't need to react to survive. And that lesson changes everything. Imagine two people walking through a storm. One person keeps shouting, "This is unfair. Why is this happening to me? I can't handle this." The storm doesn't stop, but this person becomes tired, angry, and broken. Now imagine another person. They don't shout, they don't complain, they keep walking, quietly. The storm is the same, but this person saves energy, keeps balance, moves forward. The storm never decides who is strong. Your reaction does. That's what silence does to your mind. When you stop sharing every emotion, you stop feeding your pain. Pain grows when it gets attention. Drama grows when it gets an audience. Weakness grows when it is repeated. But silence cuts that cycle. You feel pain, but you process it internally. You feel anger, but you let it pass. You feel sadness, but you don't build your identity around it. This creates emotional maturity. And emotional maturity is unbreakable. Because now, no one can push your buttons easily. No one can control your mood. No one can steal your peace. You don't need to shout to feel powerful. You feel powerful because you are calm. When you stay quiet long enough, something beautiful happens. Your emotions stop controlling you. You stop being pulled by every comment, every opinion, every reaction. You become centered, strong on the inside, calm on the outside. And this calmness is not weakness, it is command. People feel it, they respect it, they sense that you are not easy to shake. Because they don't give others emotional access. They don't overshare. They don't complain. They don't explain themselves to everyone. So there is nothing to attack. No weakness to use. No emotion to manipulate. No reaction to enjoy. Silence closes doors that emotions open. That's why quiet people last longer. They survive storms others collapse in. Staying quiet does not mean suppressing emotions. It means mastering them. It means, I feel everything, but I control everything. And once you master that, you become mentally strong, emotionally stable, and internally unbreakable. The strongest people in the room are not the loudest. They are the calmest. They don't argue. They don't explain. They don't react. They observe. They learn. They grow. And when they finally move, they move with clarity, with power, with unstoppable force. Silence is not hiding. Silence is training. And the more you train in silence, the harder it becomes for life to break you. Lesson 3. Staying quiet protects your goals, plans, and future. Let's be honest. Everyone has dreams, but not everyone protects them. We all have goals we want to achieve. We all have a future we imagine. But the mistake most people make is this. They speak too soon. They speak too loudly. And they speak to the wrong people. They start talking about their plans before they've even started working on them. And that one habit of sharing too early silently kills their success. When you share your goals too early. 1. You invite doubt. People will say, that's too hard. That's impossible. You're dreaming too big. And now your brain starts second-guessing your dream. 2. You invite distractions. Now everyone wants to know how it's going. They ask you questions. They give you advice you didn't ask for. Your energy goes into talking about your goal, not building it. 3. You lose your drive. Science shows that when you talk about your goal, your brain gets a small reward, as if you've already done something. But you haven't. You just told people. That's not action. That's leakage, a mental leak of energy. So what should you do? Stay silent. Imagine you have a seed. This seed is your dream, your vision, your next move. Now imagine digging it up and showing it to everyone before it grows. What happens? The seed dies. It never gets the chance to take root, to grow quietly, to build its strength underground. Dreams are the same. They grow in silence. They need darkness, privacy, protection. The world is too noisy, and your dream is too delicate in the beginning. So don't expose it to the weather of doubt and opinions. Let it grow in silence. And when it's strong enough, let the fruit speak. Let me tell you a real-type example. One you've probably seen in your own life. A young man had a big goal. He wanted to start a clothing brand. He told his friends, "I'm launching next month. It's going to be big." He posted designs online, started teasing people with announcements, talked about how big it would be. But here's the problem. He hadn't even built the foundation. No manufacturer, no product testing, no customer research, no savings, just excitement and sharing. Soon, people started asking, "Where's the brand? Why are you delaying? Is it still happening?" And slowly, the pressure killed the dream. He felt embarrassed. He lost motivation. He stopped working on it. And the worst part? Now when he tells people about a new idea, they laugh. They say, "Oh, like the clothing brand?" That's what happens when you speak too early. Your words become a trap. Let your ideas stay inside you until they're ready, until they're tested, until they've survived silence, until you've walked the talk, not just talked. When you share too soon, you give your power away. But when you build in silence, your plans become weapons. Your goals become sharp. Your mind becomes focused. No noise, no distractions, no pressure from the outside world, just pure progress. Let's be real. Not everyone wants you to win. Some people listen to your dreams only to copy you. Some pretend to support you but secretly hope you fail. Some don't even understand what you're building, but they'll still give you bad advice. The less they know, the less they can influence. Silence is your shield. It blocks noise, it blocks doubt, it blocks negative energy. It creates a mental environment where you can grow without fear. Because now it's just you and your mission. So what should you do instead of sharing? Here's the best formula. Plan in private. Think deeply. Strategize wisely. Don't talk. Execute in silence. Take action without announcement. Let the work grow before the world sees it. Let results speak. Once your dream has legs, once it's walking, you won't need to explain it. People will see it, feel it, respect it. Let your results make the noise, not your mouth. Protect your goals. Protect your future. Not by working harder only, but by talking less. Move like water. Silent, powerful, unstoppable. Because one day, the people who didn't take you seriously will ask how you did it. And your answer will be the most powerful thing in the world. I stayed quiet, and I did the work. Lesson 4. Staying quiet makes your relationships stronger and safer. This lesson will touch your heart. Because when people hear "don't share everything," they think it's only about goals, business, or future plans. But the truth is, oversharing can destroy the most important part of your life. Your relationships. Yes, your love life, your friendships, your family bonds, Even the strongest relationships fall apart. Not because of betrayal, not because of cheating, but because of too much talking, too much sharing, too much exposure. You fall in love with someone. You feel close, you feel happy, you feel safe. So what do? You post it. You tell everyone. You share every fight with your friends. You talk about every private moment with others. You invite the world into what was once pure. And now, something starts to shift. The relationship is no longer between you two. It becomes a public show. People start giving opinions. Jealous friends start creating doubts. Strangers start watching. And now, instead of protecting your relationship, you're performing for the crowd. You've lost the sacredness. Let's say a girl shares everything about her boyfriend online. Every fight, every emotion, every argument, every cute photo, every private conversation. One day they fight. She tells her friends. Her friends tell her, "You deserve better." She posts a cryptic story. Strangers start judging. They reconcile the next day. But now 10 other people know all their problems. And slowly, trust disappears. Privacy disappears. Safety disappears. Why? Because she didn't protect the relationship. She exposed it. And anything that's overexposed becomes fragile. The strongest relationships are often the most silent. Not because they're hiding, but because they're protecting. They're not performing. They're not proving anything. They're not collecting likes. They're not inviting opinions. They are focused on each other, not the world. They are built in privacy with trust, emotional safety, and boundaries. Because love isn't a public announcement. It's a private commitment. Staying quiet doesn't mean you don't communicate. It means you communicate with the right person, not everyone else. You talk to your partner, not your 20 friends. You resolve conflict in private, not through social media posts. You respect boundaries and protect what's sacred. Silence here means loyalty. It means maturity. It means wisdom. Sometimes you have a best friend. You share everything. Your secrets, your family problems, your deepest emotions. That's good. Until one day, that friend changes. They stop talking to you. They get jealous. They feel insecure. And suddenly, they hold all your secrets like weapons. And you feel naked, exposed, betrayed. Why? Because you overshared. You trusted too quickly. You told too much too soon. So now you live with regret. Keep your love life private, not hidden. You don't need to announce everything. Celebrate in private. Heal in private. Don't share relationship fights with outsiders. They will judge the situation without understanding your bond. Avoid posting your emotions online. Anger, sadness, drama. Once it's out there, it never comes back. Don't let others manage your heart. It's your relationship, not their business. Learn to sit with your emotions instead of broadcasting them. Privacy is not silence. It's self-respect. The more you share your private life with the world, the less special it becomes. Relationships are like fire. If you protect them from the wind, they burn beautifully. But if you expose them to the storm, they fade and die. So protect what gives you peace. Not everything needs to be said. Not everything needs to be posted. Not everything needs an audience. Some things are more beautiful when they are just yours. You don't need the world's approval to love someone. You don't need public validation to feel special. You don't need to share your happiness to make it real. You just need to protect it. And sometimes the strongest way to love someone is not to speak about them, but to stay loyal behind closed doors. Because silence doesn't mean distance. It means depth. Lesson 5. Staying quiet protects your power. Let's go deep now, into the real reason why the most powerful people in the world move in silence. Because silence protects their energy. Silence protects their vision. Silence protects their power. Power is not just money. It's not just fame. It's not how many followers you have or how loud your voice is. Real power is your inner control, your mental energy, your emotional discipline, your vision, and your focus, all aligned. And here's the hard truth. Every time you explain yourself, argue with someone, or announce your move, you lose a little bit of that power. Not because you're weak, but because you're leaking your energy. When you speak unnecessarily, you give others the power to judge you. You expose your next move to people who might block it. You reveal your pain to people who might enjoy it. You allow small minds to enter a space meant only for giants. It sounds small, but in psychology, this is called ego depletion. The more you speak about something, especially emotionally, the more tired your brain becomes, and the weaker your emotional resistance gets. That's why people who talk too much often feel mentally exhausted. That's why people who explain too much often feel misunderstood. That's why people who constantly seek validation end up feeling empty. Power is not just what you do, it's what you protect. And silence is your protection. Let's take a real example. Not from books, but from how winners operate. There were two entrepreneurs. Both had big dreams. Both were talented. Both had bold ideas. But one couldn't stop talking. He went live every week, announcing every new plan. He told friends about every idea before it was even tested. He constantly posted, "Big things coming." But nothing came. Because he spent so much energy talking, he had no energy left for doing. The second man? He disappeared. No posts, no announcements, no noise. People thought he had given up. But 2 years later, he launched something that exploded. A tech product that shocked everyone. A business model no one expected. A result that didn't need an introduction. Because the world couldn't ignore it. Why? Because he stayed quiet while he built power. And when he came back, he didn't need to explain. The results explained everything. Steve Jobs didn't post daily about Apple's next invention. He waited, he launched, and the world paid attention. Elon Musk makes powerful moves silently, then reveals them when they are undeniable. Warren Buffett lives like a ghost. Quiet. Invisible. But his investments shake the world. When you speak less, people listen more. When you move silently, your actions become louder. This isn't just theory. You can apply this today. 1. Talk less, observe more. Every conversation is energy. Don't waste it on defending your path. Let your growth speak. 2. Keep your next move hidden. Until it's done, it's not real. Don't share your plan. Share your product. 3. Let results do the talking. If your life is getting better, people will notice. If it's not, talking won't help. 4. Ignore the need for applause. If you always need claps, you'll become a performer. Be a builder instead. 5. Silence weakens your enemies. When they can't read you, they can't stop you. Be unreadable. Be unpredictable. Have you ever noticed something? The people who talk the least often command the most respect. They don't chase attention. They don't need to prove anything. They don't post their success. They become success. That's the aura silence builds. Because mystery is attractive. Because control is impressive. Because silence is powerful. Talking is easy. Silence is strength. Anyone can shout their dreams. Only the focused can build them silently. Anyone can say, "Watch me." Only the wise let results say, "You can't ignore me." So if you want to grow stronger, wiser, sharper, say less, do more, speak less, win more, share less, build more. Because the less people know about your power, the more unstoppable you become. Lesson 6. Not everyone deserves to know everything. Not everyone deserves access to your life. Not everyone deserves to know your plans, your pain, your progress, or your private world. In fact, the more people you allow into your mind, the more opinions you allow into your peace, the more judgment you allow into your journey, the more difficult your life becomes. Because the truth is, most people are not safe for your truth. We grow up thinking, if someone is close to me, I should tell them everything. If they're family, they should know everything. If they're my best friend, I can't hide anything. If I love someone, I should open up completely. And while that sounds honest and pure, it's also dangerous, because closeness is not the same as safety. Just because someone is in your life does not mean they're ready to carry your truth. There are 3 kinds of people in your life. 1. Genuine supporters. They love you, respect your boundaries, and want you to win. They don't judge. They listen. They protect what you say. These people are rare. 2. Accidental destroyers. They don't mean to hurt you, but they do. You tell them your plan, and they laugh. You share your problem, and they spread it. You tell them your weakness, and they give bad advice. They're not evil, just careless. 3. Silent saboteurs. These are the most dangerous. They smile to your face, but secretly don't want you to win. They wait for you to open up, just so they can use your truth against you later. They pretend to support you, but behind your back, they gossip, judge, and doubt you. So what's the lesson? Not everyone should be trusted with your private world. Because when you share your vision with the wrong person, you don't just lose energy, you lose momentum. Let me share a real-type story. There was a girl who had a secret dream. She wanted to become a writer. She didn't tell anyone for years. She kept writing in silence, practicing, improving. Then one day she told her closest friend. The friend listened and laughed. "You? A writer? That's not realistic." That sentence broke something inside her. She stopped writing for 6 months. She questioned her gift. She began to believe that she wasn't good enough. Why? Not because she lacked talent, but because she shared her dream with the wrong person. Later she realized, it wasn't about the friend. It was about her need to be validated too early. She started writing again, but this time, in silence. 3 years later, she became a best-selling author, and the same friend messaged her. "I always knew you had it in you." But she knew the truth. It was her silence, not their support, that made her win. Think of your mind like a sacred room. Every time you speak, you open the door. And every time someone walks in, they leave a footprint. Some people leave peace. Some leave confusion. Some break the furniture and leave the window open. So learn to protect the room of your mind. Don't open it to everyone. Don't decorate it based on other people's taste. Don't allow people to bring in dirt when they visit. Your vision is not a tourist spot. It's your temple. 1. Pause before you share. Ask yourself, does this person have the maturity, wisdom, and intention to handle this information with care? If not, stay silent. 2. Test people in small ways. Before you share something big, test with something small. Do they gossip? Do they respect your silence? Do they listen without judgment? If not, they don't deserve more access. 3. Protect what you love. Your goals, your healing, your relationship, your struggles. These are sacred, not for public display. Treat them like treasure, not trash. 4. Make privacy your power. You don't need to explain your journey. You don't need to post your progress. You don't need to prove anything. You just need to protect your path. Understand, silence is self-respect. Silence is not hiding. Silence is not fear. Silence is respect for your own growth. It means, I don't need others to understand. I just need to keep going. People will always want to know more about you. Some out of love, some out of curiosity, some out of insecurity, some to compare, some to compete. But your job is not to entertain their questions. Your job is to build your life in peace, in silence, in strength. Because the less they know, the more power you hold. Lesson 7. Silence gives you the advantage of mystery. People can only attack what they can see. They can only judge what they understand. They can only stop what they can predict. That's why mystery is power. In fact, the less people know about you, the more powerful, unpredictable, and unshakable you become. And that's what silence gives you, the advantage of mystery. Human beings have a natural habit. When we meet someone, we try to read them. We try to understand what they think, feel, believe, and plan. Why? Because when we understand someone, we feel safe. We feel in control. But when we don't know what someone is thinking or planning, we feel confused, insecure, or even afraid. That's the silent weapon of mystery. It keeps people guessing. And when they guess, you win. Because now they're reacting to you, instead of you reacting to them. Most people make this mistake. They reveal too much, too soon, to too many people. They share their emotions, ideas, goals, money, pain, and even their next moves. And guess what happens? They become predictable. Everyone knows what they'll say, what they want, what they're doing. And when people can read you like a book, they stop respecting you. They start judging you. They might even use your information against you. Because now, you've lost your mystery. And when you lose your mystery, you lose your power of control. There are 2 players on a football team. One of them talks all the time. He brags about his moves, tells everyone how he'll score, even shows videos of his practice online. The other player? Quiet. No posts, no talking, no hints. He just trains, he just watches, he just prepares. On game day, who do people focus on? The loud one. Everyone expects him to win. But because they know his every move, they block him easily. And the quiet one? He surprises them all, because no one knew what he was planning. No one could predict his strategy. No one could read his energy. And that's what mystery does. It keeps you one step ahead. In business, when you keep your strategies private, competitors can't copy you. When you launch something no one expected, you shock the market. In relationships, when you stop oversharing every emotion, people stop manipulating you. They respect you more. They fear losing you more. In personal life, when no one knows what you're building, they can't judge or distract you. You become unpredictable, focused, powerful. In communication, when you speak less, but with weight, people listen more. Because your words now carry mystery, meaning, and respect. 1. Speak less, observe more. Don't rush to respond. Watch, study, let others reveal themselves. The more you observe, the more you learn. 2. Don't explain everything you do. Keep people guessing. Not because you're hiding, but because you're growing. 3. Let silence make people curious. You don't need to be everywhere. When people don't see you often, your presence becomes more valuable. 4. Surprise people with results, not promises. Talk is cheap. Let your next move hit like lightning, not like a calendar reminder. 5. Control your emotional expression. Never let people fully know when you're angry, scared, insecure, or too excited. Calmness is power, and mystery is when people can't figure out your next emotional state. If people know your every weakness, if they know your every dream, if they can read every emotion on your face, they can manipulate you. But if you become unreadable, they can't distract you. They can't guilt you. They can't pressure you. They can't stop you. They'll try, but they'll fail, because you've become a silent storm, powerful, focused, invisible, until it's too late. You don't have to shout your vision. You don't have to post your every step. You don't have to explain your silence. Just become the kind of person who moves in mystery and lets the world feel your impact, not your announcements. Because remember, what people don't know, they can't stop. And what they can't read, they can't predict. And what they can't predict, they fear. And what they fear, they respect. So protect your mystery. It's not silence, it's strategy. Lesson 8. What you should never share. No matter what, if you've made it this far, you now understand. Silence is not weakness. Silence is wisdom. Silence is a strategy that protects your peace, your power, and your future. But now you need to go one level deeper. You need to learn what you should never share. Not with friends, not with family, not with the world. Because no matter how close someone is, no matter how excited you feel, no matter how much you trust someone in the moment, there are certain things that, once spoken, cannot be taken back. And those things can break your energy, block your growth, or even destroy your future. So here they are, the 5 things you must protect with silence. 1. Your next big move. Never announce your goals before you achieve them. Why? Because when you speak your dream too early, 3 things happen. You feel a fake sense of progress. Your brain thinks you've already done it. You open yourself to judgment, criticism, or jealousy. You invite distractions that interrupt your focus. Let your success become your statement. Let your results speak louder than any promise ever could. Until it's done, it doesn't exist. 2. Your income and finances. Talking about your money creates 2 problems. People start expecting things from you. People start resenting you silently. The more you show, the more you attract fake relationships and silent enemies. Stay humble. Let your lifestyle whisper success. You don't need to post your bank account to prove your worth. Real wealth is quiet. Loud wealth is usually fake. 3. Your deepest pain. You may feel the urge to share your wounds, for sympathy, for support, for attention. But be careful. Some people will listen. Some people will understand. But some will remember your pain only to use it against you later. Heal privately. Speak once you've turned your pain into power. Your pain deserves peace, not performance. 4. Your love life. Keep your relationship safe from the world. Don't post everything. Don't tell everyone. Don't expose private moments to public opinions, because the more people get involved, the faster it breaks. Love grows in silence, not in noise. 5. Your family's problems. Don't share everything about your family, your childhood, or your personal struggles with everyone. People may listen today, but tomorrow they may judge your background, not your growth. Protect your roots, no matter how painful they are. Let your transformation speak for itself. You are not your past, and no one deserves the full story unless they've earned your trust with loyalty. You've just learned one of the greatest truths of life. Silence protects. Silence sharpens. Silence builds. Silence transforms. In a world addicted to noise, you have a choice. Be loud and weak, or be silent and powerful. Everyone talks, everyone posts, everyone shows off, but the wise ones disappear. They don't explain, they don't argue, they don't seek applause. They build, they grow. They return with something the world can't ignore. Unshakable confidence, unstoppable results, unspoken strength. So, if you feel tired of being misunderstood, judged, doubted, copied, or drained, it's time to vanish. Go silent, go inward, and work on yourself like never before. Because when you come back, the world won't ask what happened. The world will say, "How did you become this powerful?" And your only answer will be, "I stayed quiet, and I did the work." Now say this to yourself: I don't need to explain my dreams. I don't need to share every emotion. I don't need to impress the crowd. I just need to protect my energy and move in silence. And if this video reminded you to protect your power, to stay calm, focused, and untouchable, then don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Because this is not just a video. This is your new code of life. Speak less, move smart, stay private, win loudly, but silently. Your future doesn't need noise. It needs discipline, silence, and action. We'll see you at the top, quietly.